Welcome to Studio D on the campus of the University of Oklahoma. This is Sooner Sports Pad. And now, your host, Tori Johnson.
Well, hello there. Welcome to Sooner Sports Pad. This week we have a little more girl power on the show. Lauren joins us again as an analyst, and of course, Josh Callaway. Guys, who else is on set with us today?
Yeah, we have members from the Association for Women in Sports Media, as well as a number of Gaylord students in our audience, but we have some pretty special guests. Josh, who are they?
Fired up, they're ready to go, and they should be, because we have two of our very favorite guests here, men's gymnast Moldauer and Levi Anderson. And later on in the show, Lauren and I will give our take on OU CFP chances down the stretch.
And Sports Pad's Kyle Payne gives us a free ticket to Hollywood.
Well, Waylon Jennings said it best. Mama, don't let your babies grow up to be Cowboys. OU outlasted their in-state rival to win by a point, 48-47. After a slow start, the defense came to life to make two huge plays in the fourth quarter, all tied up at 41. Kenneth Murray recovered a fumble at the 36-yard line, which soon led to a Sooner score. The second stop, Trey Brown knocked away a potentially game-winning two-point conversion. With only a minute left to play on the other side of the ball, this Sooner offense continues to impress, scoring at will on OSU. Kyler Murray doing Kyler Murray things, passing for 349 yards and running 66. Preacher man Trey Sermon and Kennedy Brooks put it on the Cowboys, running over 100 yards on them. Despite the heart-palpitating game, Coach Lincoln Riley was all smiles afterwards. He said, "It's great because all of our goals, Big 12 championship, college football playoffs, are still right in front of them." This is arguably the best offense in the nation. Lauren, what did you think about the absolute show they put on their little brother this weekend?
Yeah, well, you said it best. Just like last year, this was a shootout, and Bedlam lived up to its name, but Kyler Murray, like you said, does what he always does and ran this offense really, really well with help from his dynamic duo of Hollywood and CeeDee Lamb, who combined for 194 yards. And Carson Meyer, he got in on the action with 2 catches for 45 yards. The big story, though, here was the running game. I said it a few weeks ago. We need to see more of it. And guess what, y'all? They had more yards on the ground than they had in the air this week, something we haven't seen from the Sooners. Kennedy Brooks had 165 yards on 15 carries and 3 TDs, earning Big 12 Newcomer of the Week. And Trey Sermon recorded 124 on 16. But another big thing here was, Oklahoma State's special teams was not great, but Austin Seibert was 2 for 2 on field goals and 6 for 6 on extra points. So I think that might have won the game for the Sooners there. It's good to see him do really, really well.
All-time leader in points, Austin Seibert right there. How about that? Lauren, this was their 15th straight win in the month of November. That's pretty dang good, if I do say so myself.
Stat.
And they got this win once again because when the chips were down, when they absolutely had to have it, the defense made the plays they needed to win. As Tori mentioned, Neville Gallimore with the probably season-saving forced fumble, which was recovered by Kenneth Murray. Trey Brown stepped up, got the big 2-point pass knocked away from Taylor Cornelius in the final moments. I think OU's probably unofficially the best 2-point conversion defense in college football, by the way, after that stop. Kenneth Murray, as I mentioned, absolute baller, had the fumble recovery, 11 more tackles. He led the team. This wasn't the defense's best day, but as they did against Army and TCU and Texas Tech, they did it against Oklahoma State. They made the big plays when they had to be made, and that's a big reason why I think OU's got a shot to go the whole way here at the end of the year.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Well, today, Marquise Brown was announced a Biletnikoff Award semifinalist, and earlier, Josh got to catch up with him about the honor.
Today, you're named a Biletnikoff semifinalist. How cool is that? And do you feel like that's kind of a reflection on the team as a whole?
Yeah, it's cool. I think CD should be on the list, but it was cool to be recognized. But it's a reflection, definitely a reflection of the offense and just the talent we have all around.
Is it fun to have an offense that's just got so many weapons on it?
Yeah, it's very fun. To watch the guys run, go out, block for each other, and watch each other. Celebrate and have fun. It's pretty cool.
Last couple of games have been pretty cold. This weekend's going to be cold again. Morgantown might be even colder. Do you like playing in the cold? You're from Florida.
I play in the cold, the heat, rain, whatever. I would prefer it's just sunny, but whatever we got to play in, we're willing to do it.
Last question here. You got Kansas here. Could be your final home game. Obviously, they're not at the top of the standings of the Big 12, but they are better than they've been. What are you looking at for the Jayhawks here?
I know they're going to come out and be very competitive. They have a very good team. So we're going to come out and just practice hard and try to, compete and, come out and execute on Saturday.
Thanks, Marquise.
Well, let's take it from the gridiron to the hardwood. Lauren, how's the volleyball team been doing?
Yeah, well, they seem to be unstoppable lately. It wasn't just football last week that rallied to beat Texas Tech, but it was also the volleyball team in 5 sets last Wednesday. The ladies recorded a season-high 71 kills. That's 10 more than the Red Raiders. And sophomore Kylie McLaughlin assisted on 62 of the kills, finishing just 4 shy of beating the school record. And then from there, they went on to own the Horned Frogs 3-1 Friday night for senior night. They did so in dominating fashion, edging TCU in kills, assists, attack percentage, and blocks. Senior night went well for the senior, Alyssa Enneking, who had 19 kills and 10 digs. And then Kylie McLaughlin carried her power from the game against Tech, finishing the night with 46 assists and 15 digs and 4 kills. And they'll wrap up their home play this Wednesday against Iowa State. So hopefully they'll keep up that winning streak going.
Good stuff from volleyball there. Women's hoops got their season underway on Friday, and they got the win 90-83 over Western Kentucky. They look good doing it. If you guys are familiar with Shayna Pellington, I would get familiar. She's an absolute boss. She dropped 33 points on the Lady Toppers, had 9 rebounds as well. Freshman Taylor Robertson is a sharpshooter. She had 8 threes in her first career game. That's the most threes ever by a freshman she did in her first game. Not too bad. We'll also name Big 12 Newcomer of the Week today, so that's pretty cool. Another freshman, Maddie Williams, she went 15 points, 15 boards. She was dominating the paint down low in her first career game as well. This team is super young. Their starting 5 was 2 sophomores, 3 freshmen. They're fun to watch, and I recommend everybody get out to LNC and watch them go to work. They're a really fun team. Also, can't forget about the men's team. They started their season on Friday and also won. So good start for both basketball teams.
Yeah, it's really exciting to see these freshmen and these sophomores playing so well for the women because that's really promising for seasons to come.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Yeah. But it's time for us to take a break. But when we come back, Lauren and Josh will face off. We're also going to have a special feature on Hollywood Brown. Stay with us.
I feel obviously, we have some improvements to make, but at the end of the day, no win is a bad win. I feel like, we came out here and we continue to fight and we continue to do what our coaches told us, which was forget it and drive on, no matter what happens, good or bad. And I feel like, as a defense as a whole, that's what we did.
Welcome back to Sooner Sports Pad. I'm here with some really excited Sooner fans who are ready to watch these two face off. So going back to what Kenneth Murray said, a win is a win. So my first question for you is, does only beating OSU by 1 point affect their chances going into the playoffs?
Okay, well, I really hate to say it, but I do think that their really close win to Oklahoma State affects it a little bit. I don't want to say that this game was, a deciding factor at all, but I don't think that Notre Dame's a good football team, but if Notre Dame wins out and then if Michigan goes on to beat Ohio State, I do not think that Oklahoma will be in the conversation. A win is a win as it's recorded, and it should be, but once it comes to looking at resumes, I think Oklahoma will look slightly inferior considering their really close wins to Texas Tech, Oklahoma State, and Army. And, defense wins championships, and while their offense is good enough to get them there, I don't know that it's going to get them all the way there. And so I think, like I said, a win is a win, just like Kenneth Murray said, and there's nothing sweeter than a Bedlam defeat, but it's hard to say that, the committee isn't going to look at this a little bit negatively. But, I still have optimism. I want to look at it in a good light, but we'll see.
Yeah, Lauren, I'm not with you here. I'm with Kenneth Murray. I think a win is a win, no matter by the margin. We've seen in recent years, just last year, they were heavily favored against Baylor, close game, heavily favored against K-State, close game. They still made the playoff last season, so I don't know why it'd be different this year. I think Oklahoma's one of the top 4 teams in the country, and I don't think that winning Bedlam close changes my opinion. It shouldn't change the committee's opinion. Before this game, they needed Michigan Notre Dame to probably slip up and lose. After this game, they need Michigan Notre Dame to slip up and lose. I don't think their chances were hurt. I think they're right where they were before the win. Just win your games, as Kenneth said, as Kyler said, as Lincoln said, and they're going to be okay.
I guess we'll see. I hate to say it, I really do.
We'll see.
Well, yeah, I guess we will see. But I'm here with Tevis, and she has your second face-off question for you guys.
What spring sport are you guys most excited about?
Good question, Tevis. I like it. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I am beyond excited for Sooner softball to get back going. And I'm interested to see what the dynamic looks like without Paige Parker and Paige Lowry this year, but I don't think that it's going to affect them too terribly, and I think that it's going to, this season's going to turn out a little bit better than they had last year. I mean, Jocelyn Allo is incredibly fun to watch with the amount of home runs she hits. She had 30 homers in 2018 to tie the Oklahoma single-season record, the Big 12 single-season record, and the NCAA D1 freshman single-season record. And then seniors Fale Avius, Shay Knighton, and Kaylee Clifton are just a few of the powerful leaders on this team. Oh, and not to mention, they finished up fall ball 7-0-1, and I think there's big things to come from this team. They fell short last year in the Women's College World Series, but I do think that they're going to come out this season a lot, ready to win it all, and I think they'll do it. So I'm super excited for this to start.
Oh, yeah, me too. There's a lot of spring sports to pick from since they all pretty much win every single year. For me, I'll just go with the team that's won 4 straight natties. We got a couple guys here. Men's gym. They've won the natty every year since I was in high school. That's pretty good. They've won 4 straight. Let's get one for the thumb and make it 5 in a row. It'd be one for the second thumb for head coach Mark Williams. He's going for number 10 since he became the coach here in 2000. Not to mention, it's the last ride for our guests, Levi Anderson, Yul Moldauer. These guys have done literally nothing but win since they got here. They want to go out with another ring. I want to see them get it. Let's have it. Let's have it.
I mean, yeah, it's pretty cool that they're here too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
They've won it every year they've been here, literally. Let's finish it off.
Okay, well now it's time for you guys to show me your viral video. Show me what you got.
All right, well, we heard Kenneth Murray talk about Oklahoma's win, but what about former Oklahoma QB Baker Mayfield and what fueled his fire against the Falcons in a 28-16 smackdown yesterday?
All right.
Let's see what he had to say.
Warm-up's not really, but when I woke up this morning, I was feeling pretty dangerous.
Care to expand on that?
I just woke up feeling real dangerous.
My favorite was his little smirk there, like the typical Baker Mayfield that we always see, but I know, I'm sorry about your Falcons.
Yeah, I'm sorry the Falcons had to lose.
Not
If it had to be
really,
anybody,
though.
I'm
Not
glad it was Baker and the Browns. So, to the current Sooners, as we all know, every time the Sooners get in the end zone, which is pretty often, I would say, the Roughnecks take old Boomer and Sooner and the Schooner out for a little joyride, a little victory lap. And it goes well, and it's awesome 99% of the time. But the other 1% of the time, some bad things happen. We got a Roughneck down. Hold on, buddy. Hold on. He's hanging on for dear life. He's being dragged by the Schooner. Oh, man. He's okay. Nothing's hurt but his pride. He's all right. He's embarrassed a little bit, but he's all right. He'll be back out this weekend ready to go.
Yeah, his butt burned a little bit there, Josh.
He got dragged.
Was painful.
He got dragged like 30
Extremely
yards.
Painful.
Yeah, he's all right. He's tough. He'll tough it out.
Okay, well now it's time to vote on who you guys think is the winner of Face Off. Cheer the loudest for who you think won. If you think it was Lauren, let's hear it.
Lauren's in awesome.
I don't know about this.
President of awesome. It's not a fair fight.
Okay, pretty loud. Let's see if Josh can beat it. If you think Josh won, give it up.
It's close.
Lame. I think it was yellow.
This is a tough one, but I heard one fan in the back just screaming for like an extra 5 seconds, so I'm going to have to give it to Josh.
Oh, let's go, Ken. Let's go.
Thank you so much. We got to take a break.
All right,
I'm sure to stay with us, because when we come back, we're going to have dynamic duos, and we're going to see a feature on Hollywood Brown.
Good stuff.
Thanks to our cornerstone television partners, OU Medicine, Anheuser-Busch, OU Extended Campus, and our community partners, Landers Auto Group, Devon Energy, Coca-Cola, and OU Medicine.
Welcome back to Sooner Sports Pad. Kyle Payne rolls out the red carpet for a special feature on the emergence of Marquise Hollywood Brown. Let's take a look.
Winds up, down the field, Hollywood! Touchdown! Sooners, 77 yards! Who is this kid?
Marquise Hollywood Brown has seemingly come out of nowhere. During his time at College of the Canyons, he proved to scouts from all over that his speed was more than enough to play anywhere in the nation. When Marquise arrived on OU's campus, his size was the first thing people noticed.
Really weigh 148 pounds?
I think so. I'm not sure. I don't really care. He may have gained a couple. He might be in the 150s now. But We won't ask him to kick out any linebackers, but we'll ask him to get behind a lot of people, and he can really go.
In just his second game as a Sooner, fans saw what the team did. He capped off a 155-yard day with an 87-yard touchdown from Kyler Murray, foreshadowing the success we've all seen this season. But it wasn't until Bedlam last year when he became a household name.
Said he was too small and he wouldn't be able to do it, and he's going to go out there and ball. It doesn't matter. He's going to believe in himself, and he's going to use what he's good at to win. And quite frankly, he's faster than anybody in college football.
After that game, his new nickname, Hollywood, was born. He sees his nickname as more than just his new persona.
People look at Hollywood like flashy. I look at it, as just a symbol for my hometown,
Typically seen as a deep ball threat, his role within the offense this season has transformed him into an all-around weapon.
He's not just the deep ball guy. He's catching things underneath. He's making some people miss. He's making competitive catches. He's playing well for us.
He wants to play at the next level, just like anybody else does. So he's got to prove he can do those things, come across the middle, catch competitive balls, not just be a one-trick pony type of guy. And he's got to do those things, and he's doing them well right now.
Hollywood isn't the only star receiver on this offense. Sooner fans can't forget about his partner in crime, CeeDee Lamb, and their relationship off the field.
As long as I got him, we good.
How sweet.
We compliment each other. It's great having him on the field with me, and he's like my other half.
When the 2018 campaign began, many believed he was potentially the best wide receiver in the country. That idea was met with some huge performances in the first 3 weeks of the season. 5 times this year, he's broken off more than 130 yards. After 3 straight weeks of being contained for most of the ball game, he finally got back on Bolitnikov track with 142 yards and a big 51-yard touchdown this past Saturday in his second Bedlam showdown. Kyle Payne, Sooner Sports Pad.
Now let's hear from our guests, Yul Moldauer and Levi Anderson.
All right, first up, you guys got a scrimmage coming up here in the next few weeks. How excited are you guys just to get back out there?
I'm excited. I've been training for, things outside OU this whole, last offseason. So I'm excited to finally come back, get to compete in my senior year for the seniors.
And I'm bouncing back from a pretty big year last year for me personally. And I had an unfortunate surgery right at the end of the season last year. So I'm kind of excited to get to show some of the fans that will come out and support us there that I'm still here. I'm still here.
All right, well, switching gears a little bit here. Levi, here at Sooner Sports Pad, we're used to seeing you behind camera 3. You've been working as a creative media production major. Tell me a little bit about what that's like and where you want this to take you after graduation.
That's kind of interesting. A friend of mine actually told me about this major about 1.5 years ago, and I switched pretty late. And I switched from HES to the, CMP, and they're 2 really different things. But I'm kind of just using all the resources I can here at Gaylord to try to figure out what I like, what I don't like, and kind of take it where it takes me, honestly.
Great. Well, we've loved having you. It's been fun.
Yul, meanwhile, you're over in just who knows what country, winning world championships and stuff. How was that, man? Give us some update.
It was exciting. It was an honor to go. It was fun. It was cool to see the other cultures out there. But it was amazing to represent the USA and just compete out there with all these other guys I've always wanted to compete with, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
The 2019 schedule, the 2019 schedule is just released, and you've got a pretty tough one, especially with Minnesota in your first meet. So, how excited are you for that? And this tough schedule. How do you look at that going into it?
Just take one competition at a time. You're gonna go against hard competitors, and you gotta expect that. So you gotta go in there with the mindset that train like you're the worst guy, and then when you compete, you're the best guy. So you always have that confidence.
We train. Every single day in the gym, we're always looking at it as we are not number 1. Usually it's not that we're the worst team, it's that we're number 2 and we're chasing number 1. And then when we get to a meet, we just let it rip as if it's at another day in the gym, and it just gets easier. And it's more fun whenever we're competing against teams that have a chance to beat us. It makes it a lot more fun, for sure.
I think Tori's got an audience question for you.
I'm back here with Tevis, and she has a question for you guys.
Okay, 2-part question. Levi, have you finished your photography class project yet? Okay, we're still going. Now, what was your guys' favorite national championship to win?
Definitely last year's.
Yeah.
Actually, on our rings, we have battle tested in our team doctor team doctor used to tell us that we're battle tested all the time just because we've been through so many meets. But last season we had, I think, like 13 surgeries, and we barely had enough guys to compete at our scrimmage last year. So he like came into the room before we competed, and he said, you know, like, screw this, you guys are battle scarred, like, just go out there and trust it.
Okay, well, I'm sorry, but that's all the time we have for you. But when we come back, we're going to play dynamic duos, so stay with us. Welcome back. It's time for dynamic duos. Before the break, I asked Levi a series of questions, and now Yule has to try to guess the answers. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, question number 1. What is Levi's favorite gymnastics event? A, high bars, B, beams, C, floor, or D, vault?
Well, if Levi could practice on the girls' side, it'd be beam, but since he's on the men's side, I'll go with high bar.
Okay, is it right? Okay, 1 for 1. Question number 2. What is Levi's biggest pet peeve? A, people walking too slow in front of him. B, people who smack their gum. C, when people can't park in the lines. Or D, Texas.
Well, I've seen Levi park on the line, so definitely not that one. I would say Texas.
Is it right? Okay. Question number 3. This one is, what is Levi's ideal first date? A, dinner. B, a nice dinner, sorry. B, a concert. C, Netflix and chill. Or D, a sporting event.
I think, I don't know, I've never seen Levi take a girl to dinner, so... No, I'm just kidding. Maybe Netflix and chill. No.
Is it?
No, a good dinner. Good dinner.
We got it? Well, I think we're not going to see, but thank you so much for joining us.